Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Tanks. Dristo here with the M56 Scorpion, which is a Tier 7 American tank destroyer. This is a premium tank that is not on sale usually. I bought this thing at the Advent calendar and was happy enough to be able to get it this year because last year when it was on sale, I did not get it. I was too poor to I was unfortunate enough to not be able to get this thing. So I'm happy to present this thing to you. I'm using my T67 crew with this thing. I wanted my T67 to have a nice crew trainer, and this is one of the most epic ones I can find. So let's go straight forward with the stats on this thing. This thing has a decent rate of fire, 10 degrees of gun depression, which is really nice for working ridges, but 15 degrees of gun elevation, which can be problematic if your rear of your tank is jacked up a little bit. You might miss out on some opportunities presented to you. So 30 degrees one side and 30 degrees to the other side for the gun arc, so you can really hit pretty large in front of you without moving your hull. Therefore you keep your camo net and your binocs active. This thing has a 1.82 seconds aim time, which is really cool. Really, this is one of the most effective guns I can have in my garage here. 0.32 accuracy, which again is really nice. A really good, accurate, fast aim time gun with, a pretty lowish DPM. 2,139 here listed in the garage, but this thing has 219 millimeters of penetration, which with its stock rounds, you are going to make some credits with this thing because you won't have to fire premium pretty much ever. I do have 6 heat shells, but really you won't find yourself firing heat shells much, except if you fight an E75, because this thing does get a normal matchmaking, meaning that it does fight tier 9s. So moving on here, 820 hit points, which is a little bit low, but really this thing is a sniper. If you get shot, you're probably doing it wrong, or you're maybe pushing endgame and stuff like that. 1 millimeter of armor all around, guys. This thing it is a real tank destroyer. It was made to be airdropped, so it had to be very lightweight, so that is why it has absolutely no armor. Anything will penetrate you, and if you're lucky enough to see one of these guys and he doesn't know you're there somehow, shoot HE. Just shoot HE, you will do damage to this thing and you will wreck it. Every module on this thing is very easy to destroy. The gun on this thing gets destroyed all the time. It gets wrecked. You need a repair kit on this thing, obviously. So moving on here, this thing being that it is really lightweight, has a 26.69 powder rate ratio, which is really cool. You will be able to move with your 45 kph top speed even on soft terrain. You will get there, no problems. 17 kph reverse, which is also pretty good to move out of trouble if you're in deep shit, you want to run away. It does that pretty damn well. The camo rating on this thing is really epic. Being that this thing has no armor, the camo rating is really good. One of the best in the games. It's not as good as the E25 and maybe not as good as maybe a little bit of the new ones, but it is really epic. I love this thing. It has a 350 meter view range, which is okay, but with the binocs it moves up to 437.5 meters, so you can really spot for your friends here, and I'm going to show you some of that action in game coming up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Sand River Tier 7 top tier game with this nice little beast that the M56 Scorpion is. So you can see it's pretty good, pretty mobile. We are on soft terrain going like 45 top speed, no problems here. Even going up hills, this thing is pretty damn cool. And don't you think this thing looks cool? I think it looks pretty damn awesome. It's a small target for when it's fighting on ridgeline. You can only see like the gun shield, if you want to call it that way. So it's a pretty small target. It's hard to hit. But once you hit it, it's pretty soft. It's epically soft, actually. So we were moving up the hill here, going 30 kilometers an hour, no problems. This thing really does move pretty well. So I think this thing looks pretty cool. I like the ammo rack at the bottom and in the rear right here, and also I have some camo on this thing. I was not expecting to see a light right there, so I'm not gonna go out here. I don't want to be spotted right away. I want it to be a surprise. So we're gonna wait for this guy to move along here, and he's gonna be coming really fast. And boom, he is dead. Now there's an FV304 on the enemy team, and these things have crazy gun arcs, so I do not want to get hit by him. So that's why I'm wiggling around. moving. And there's a lot of targets here, and I want to get in position to actually shoot them down. So I don't know if you guys know this area here on Sand River. It is the most epic area for a tank destroyer, in my opinion. And as long as you have some decent camo, you can hang here and do quite well. So a speculative shot on the Tiger P here. Tiger P really is not that great of a tier 7. Not as good as some of the other ones that we're going to see soon enough. Oh, that poor little Luke's got carried up in a tier 7 game, and it is all over him. And here we are. This is a T-29, guys. Probably the most overpowered tier 7 tank for its tier. So this thing is really cool. So I tracked him, and I was happy to actually track him there. And that's what I want to do. I want to keep this guy tracked, but somehow that did not keep him tracked. So this thing has crazy turret armor, so we have to hit the hull. Even with my 219 millimeters of penetration, I would not go through the frontal turret armor in this thing. So two T-29s crossing over, I felt like in the game Duck Hunt. For you older guys here, you know, they're just crossing over innocently, and I'm just shelling them all over the place and having so much fun doing it. And that hit really, I hit the weak spot on this T-29 right where the little machine gun port is in the hull. No need for that with the amount of penetration this gun has. But still, you know, shits and giggles. No tracking shot again. I was sure that I hit the front drive wheel there, but it did not. So I'm going for some softer targets here. Easier targets, less important targets to kill. As you noticed, I was going for the more potent enemies. I wanted to destroy them as quickly as possible. Sadly, I did not destroy any of the big guys yet. I did destroy the Lukes though, poor little guy. And we see here Jumbo M4A2E2. So the Jumbo is not the EZ8. It has some decent hull armor, especially in the front, and this guy has the stock turret, and believe it or not, the stock turret has a lot more armor than the upgraded turret. But you know, you do trade in some DPM, and you cannot have the top gun on this thing. So this guy has probably the derp gun. This is what I use on my Jumbo anyways. Probably making a review of this guy sooner than later. So already up to 2,855 damage. This game is all new. It's 4 minutes old. You know, so pretty cool. I did a little bit of spotting here and there. So waiting for targets to pop up. So this area, guys, is really great for tank destroyers. It is a really nice position. You can get shots off pretty damn far. Auto aim on the KV-85, and somehow I bounced this guy. KV-85 is not reputed to have good armor, but whatever. Probably hit the side of the turret or something. So I'm going to be using my gun depression soon enough here. Getting in position for this guy. I'm moving because I feel Artie might hit me here. So I want to hit the mid plate on this guy, and there we go. Nice hit. A little bit of a low roll, but really this thing has a 240 average roll, so 268 here, a little bit higher roll. I'll leave this guy on 80 hit points, not able to get the final hit on this guy. Yeah. So we're gonna move up here, trying to get some spots off. Our team is moving in, and I want to snipe my way to victory. You know how this thing plays. It really is a great sniper tank. I think it's one of the best. I enjoyed the E25, but the E25 only has 150 penetration. This thing has 219. And then what a nice aim on that Hellcat. Poor guy lost half his hit points right there. And we are not going to sit around here. We're going to move up here. Actually do a little bit of hang time. Woohoo! It's pretty nice what they did to the tracks sliding, you know, and a few patches ago. The light tanks are now really drifty. You hit the spacebar and it really goes wacko crazy. It's pretty fun to play, but you know, sometimes you don't want it to do that, and it does, and you lose all your speed. But moving up here, the team really is smelling the blood in the water here, and so am I. Usually I don't really rush in, but this is, you know, only 4 guys left, end game. I want to do a little bit more damage, and I know I have to move in here, maybe take a hit or two to trade with somebody, and just make that 3,000 damage plus a 4,000 damage plus game. So there's KV-1, NT-25, FV-304, and such over there. Did not quite aim this shot, and I think it went a little bit low. But clutching this one here, right on the mid plate. So that KV-1, you know, a tier 5 tank, getting 240 hit points off of him really is not cool. And this is what I was talking to you about pre-game. I got one hit I got shot only once, and my gun broke. I had to use my repair kit on the gun. So if ever you guys own this thing, bring a repair kit. It is of the utmost importance. That, camo dat, and binocs is what I use to play this thing. So I'm going for the MT25 here. Auto aim in. I want to kill this guy with a nice derp shot, but it does not function. So I'm running around trying to get him, and he goes boom, he dies. And, you know, I was unlucky there. I mean, I wanted to get one last kill. I mean, I only have one kill for over 4,000 damage, which is pretty rare. But, you know, it was a nice team effort. The guys did a great job. And we're going to see the post-game stats on this beautiful game. Alright guys, end game here with my TD15. This thing had been there for so long and I finally did it. Mastery badge, fire for effect, bruiser, high caliber, and Confederate. 4,096 damage with 1 kill, 1,380 XP. That was awesome game. Over 4,000 damage done, a lot from a long range. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. More videos like this one coming up next week. I hope you enjoyed.